Not feeling good? Listen in for the next 4 minutes. We can help. Sometimes, I have a view of the world based on incomplete or incorrect facts. When that happens, my mind tells me stories about how life is. And those stories aren't always accurate. It can be hard to think positive and make yourself feel happy. But it's a lot easier avoiding negative thoughts and incorrect stories and making yourself feel sad. I presented at a continuing professional development conference this past weekend to paralegals and lawyers. And while I had a good time ultimately, I came away feeling really not very happy with myself. Let me tell you why. There was a fellow in the front row who asked a question, and in retrospect I realized the question just wasn't on topic. But at the time, I tried really hard to answer the question, and when I came away from the seminar, I kind of thought I didn't do a very good job in answering his question. In fact, when I was on the subway on the way home thinking about it, I realized or thought to myself that not only did I not do a good job, but the story in my mind was that I'd done a poor job and that I was stupid. In fact, it got worse. The more I thought about it, the more I catastrophized, and the story changed from just me answering poorly to me being stupid, inherently stupid, to my boss finding out, seeing the recording of this presentation, realizing that I was a moron, and deciding to fire me. And when I got out of the subway and started walking home through the snow, I started thinking more critically about what was going on in my mind. I used the techniques that I had gained through mindfulness to better understand what was happening. The first step, which I was really happy I was able to do, was to be aware of what was going on. To feel my feelings inside of me, understand that I was not feeling good, and to be able to pinpoint exactly why it was that I felt that way. I was feeling that way because of the story that I was telling myself. And so I started to reframe the story, because the story that was going through my mind was based on one interaction with one individual, and I was viewing that in the most negative light possible. I'm quite sure the fellow went home afterwards and thought that I had given him quite a reasonable explanation. In fact, the judge who was coordinating this presentation came up afterwards and said that I had done a great job, and my co-presenter was enthusiastic about what I had brought to the table. So, was the story that I gave a bad answer wrong? Maybe. Was the story that I was stupid wrong? Yes. That was based on incorrect information, and I was in control to be able to say whether I should think that story or not. So what did I do? As I trudged through the snow, I thought about a new story that I should be telling myself, and I said it out loud. That I had done a good job. That people came up to me afterwards and told me how much they appreciated the presentation. That the judge came and told me how much he liked what I had done. That my co-presenter was enthusiastic about what I brought to the table. When I said that out loud, I realized that the first story that I had been telling myself was wrong. And I used the second story to create a new narrative in my mind about what had happened. And based on that, I felt much, much better. I think one of the purposes we have in life is to learn and grow. And what did I learn from in this experience? I learned that I can rely on my mindfulness techniques to help me out of a really tough situation when my mind is telling me stories that aren't true. I'm able to reframe them, and I'm able to put myself in a much better mind space just by thinking about it in positive ways. I have the choice about how I can view things. I can view the things in a negative way or in a positive way. And so, my friends, think positive thoughts, because they are in your control.